Hello, and welcome to my UI guide. Today we're going to examine the user interface, or UI, in World of Warcraft. What we'll be working with is your standard 2560 by 1440 curved monitor, but you can use any size you'd like or whatever you have on hand. Firstly, let's establish some basic rules for setting up a UI, based on what you are already naturally doing. For example, it's likely that your eye is centered to the center of the screen naturally, because this is where the action is. But wait, your eye darted off in this direction. Oh, and you're dead. So, the first rule is to center your UI around where the action is. You'll notice that we've divided our screen, and our center square is now our building platform for our UI. So, let's start adding some stuff to our centered rig. Spells would be a great start. And be sure to pick spells you need to see. For example, as an arcane mage, I don't need to see Arcane Blast spell, because it's always available if I'm not already casting something. Or Arcane Intellect, cast it at the beginning and after people die. There, that looks good to me. All my spells just how I like them, and with their appropriate keybinds. Now let's look at where we're going to put the buffs. As an arcane mage, I am constantly reading my buffs, and adjusting my rotation and positioning around them, so they are one of the most important things I need to see. So I'll tuck them in close to the center, here, just like that. Next is us, and what we are fighting. When it comes to portraits, I like to kind of box in the center to give it a little uniformity, like this. And we can't forget about our teammates. Even though I've never met these folks before, I want to leave a good impression, just in case I never meet them again. There are a few different ways you can have your party frames displayed. You can change your party portraits to raid frames like these by opening edit mode and selecting the party frames element, then checking or unchecking the use raid style party frames box. Isn't that a neat way of doing it? I think so. I like to keep my party frame off in the corner, about here, just off to the edge. It's like it's peeking in from the corner, saying hello to the other elements. Isn't that special? And then there's all the miscellaneous stuff. Chat box, DPS meter, minimap, quest log, menu, and bags. These are all the things I look at least, so they are going as far away as possible. That doesn't mean we love them any less, but when we've got a job to do, that's what we need to focus on first, and all the miscellaneous stuff knows that. So lastly, try not to overcomplicate things. Think of each element of your UI as a priority. Ask yourself, how important is this element to me? Do I even need to see this element? And does this UI work for me personally? Am I happy with this? Am I happy with myself? If you're following along at home, I sure do appreciate you. Wanting to listen and learn is something that fills my heart with joy. And maybe if everyone did a little more listening, they would learn the joy in other people's hearts. Wouldn't that be a world worth saving? And now for some fun UI tips and tricks. Any necessary links and commands will be in the description below. Your minimap can be minimized like this. So can your objectives here, as well as its transparency here. Buffs minimized here, and bags right here. You can hide action bars while in combat like this. And your chat log can be filtered and its transparency also changed. A happy UI is one that works for you, and I think you can build a very happy UI. Wanting to get rid of your floating damage or healing text? Well, there is a command to get rid of them. and those are in the description below. Or maybe you want to remove your character from the field altogether. There is also a command for that. To completely hide your UI, the default command is Alt-Z. If you've gotten yourself into a UI mess and can't seem to escape because everything is everywhere and you want it all to end, and you've lost your way in a sea of action bars and add-ons and LUA errors, take a deep breath. There is hope. A final stop for any UI, the ultimate wipe, the factory reset. To begin this process, start with visiting the Blizzard site and following the instructions they have here. Spoiler, your add-ons are going to visit your great aunt on a farm far, far away. Then hop back in the game and type. Again, this will completely reset your UI, so use with caution. If you're returning after a long break or wanting to get a fresh start for a new expansion, go for it. There's no time like the present for a new beginning. I wanted to thank you for sharing this time with me. I hope you've learned something new today, and if you did, please consider subscribing or leaving a like.